Hey, welcome to this Armor Brigade gameplay video. If you love modern tactical games, then don't miss a minute of what's coming up. Hey, welcome. It's time to play a little Armor Brigade. I want to do something different than the other two videos I've done where I used scenarios that were pre-built. We're going to go through a mission generation and just to show you how that works, and then play a mission that I've already generated and set up and have it all ready to go because it can take a little while to micro your way through this, and we're going to discuss that and how I feel about it as we go along. So, what do you say? Rather than stand here in front of this, you know, nice opening screen, we actually do some of that. Let's click new game, generate mission. Now I'm going to dummy this up. This is not going to be what we play, but you see what you do is you can set your uh, sector size, either gigantic, in a really large game, um, or small, if you want a really small game, um, or you can customize the the size of the area to be played. You can see that right there. You get the little call out window showing you what you're looking at. I wish I could remember where I actually had that other game set up. It doesn't matter. We'll pick this one just to the northwest of Munster just for a demo. So we click on that, and there's the game map. Uh, Done. Then we can pick our opponents. So we can have U.S. Army, the USSR, or if you want to play the USSR, the Federal Republic of Germany, or the German Democratic Republic, or the British Army. In this case, let's just do what I'm doing before, which was the FRG against the USSR. You can change the date. And I think this last game that I have set up is 1968. We're going to leave all these things alone except I want to go with dynamic, which is kind of cool. Um, the force type determines how many force points can be spent on different equipment categories. Just a basic AI opponent uh, behavior template. Okay, so dynamic, I think basically means I can pick what I want, and it will the opponent will generate a force for it. Air superiority is not going to matter. I don't understand this. I've never seen them. I've had it tell me, yeah, there were two neutral units. Well, where? Um, that's kind of cool. You can have neutrals on the battlefield. I'm just gonna say none. I'm gonna leave all the weather, the sector terrain, ground conditions, all this stuff alone. Although that's kind of fun. More collapsed buildings. I didn't play with that before. I kind of like that. Um, Time of day, the month, all this is very slick. Okay, you can play with it all you want. Um, let's go ahead and move on. You change this here. I want a defense. You can also, if you want, let's see if I remember how to do it. Change the orientation. Uh, you can have random objectives. You can see it moving the objective around. You can clear them, come back. I've done this before, and for some reason I am defense player start edge. Okay, so you can rotate around depending on which what the axis of the game to be. So in this case, with us defending, we would be defending up in here, um, and then you can randomize the objectives, clear objectives. I don't know if you can set an objective, clear objective. So set what you want. Um, you can play with the water. You can say it's all fordable, it's frozen, it's impassable, or varied. Um, and Okay, dug in, fortified, dug in, none. We'll leave that alone. Player start edge north, east. Yep, there you go, southwest. We've got all that figured out. Um, Opponent objectives. You can play with all this stuff. Okay, let's not get too deep into that. I want to get to the game. And we say done. Come in here, force type, dynamic and manual. Over here, mechanized. We're going to leave it alone. It'll auto. But we could pick our opponents. Well, that wouldn't be very much fun. And we can vary the combat power if we want. So you could simulate, uh, that they'd already been in combat. You have these advanced options if you want to play with the percentages of the forces in your opponent. So let's just go ahead and move on. I'm not going to go too deeply into that. This is where you start selecting your units. So let's say we wanted a scout section out of the recon section. And so there you go, recon category, infantry category. We wanted a Jaeger platoon. We add them, and an infantry headquarters. We add them. Mechanized. Those are the different. Yeah, we're not going to do anything there. And let's say we wanted a Leopard 1 tank platoon. Add it. And a Carl Gustav section. And oh, look at this. This is nice. Panzer. We wanted a couple of MG3 sections. And I don't want a heavy mortar section. No aircraft. Done. And again, we can come here and play with these custom launch options. Show hidden in AAR. I don't want to play with the player character. Round length. If you want to play using rounds, you can do it. I haven't played with that, so I'm not going to do it. Show victory levels um, in real time without the fog of war. I don't want to do that. Always play enemy sounds. Um, we're going to leave that alone. Basically, you can play with your training levels. And again, this is all whatever you want to do, and then we hit play. Okay, now you can see I have all our units, and we can. That's my machine gun team, and an MG3 section, and a mortar section, and a Carl Gustav section, and my leopards, and my Jaeger platoon, and my infantry headquarters. My scouts are out here, and there you go. You go to setting things up. Now, that's how it works. I think what I said though is I have already done this. So let's go ahead and pick this one. It's a Federal Republic of Germany versus USSR Defend in 1968, if I remember right. And there we go. Okay, so this is already set up and ready to play. Now, I'm still chattering. Let's talk about what I've been moaning about in my favorite Facebook group, Computer War Games Tactical Strategic, which is this game because it's Armored Brigade. So you have the idea that you're playing these gigantic forces, and you can. But the game really screams micro me. Let's set things up. If you play this at a high level and you just slap a platoon here and a platoon there, and if you watched my previous video, you saw me go with a preloaded scenario. There's a platoon of M2s and infantry and a squad and actually several squads and their infantry fighting vehicles are just standing out in the open when they obviously intend to defend in a wood. And so I have to move them around and, or actually in that case, give them orders to move into cover and make some kind of sense of it. Here, I've actually set up a defense of this little village. There's our objective right back here, the heart of the village. Bad guys are going to be coming from here. And the micro I've done, and to show you some of the things you can do, let's select this section. I've set there's SOP. In this case, I well, I have. I thought I had. I want them to hold fire, and I want them to move under cover if they move. Okay. Now that makes me think that the SOP did not save. Yes, it did not. Oh, that's delightful. So I'm going to need to do some of this micro. All right, so let's talk about what I'm trying to do here. One, I don't want these guys shooting. I want them hiding and telling me what they see. You can hit L for line of sight, and you can see what they can see. Um, Admittedly, that might not be the, well, it actually is good for seeing over here. L. Okay, so they're mostly watching here, although there might be a better place to put them. I'm not going to mess with that right now. My armor is M48A2Cs, which is kind of cool, playing with 90mm gun armed armor, so they are not just shoot and kill. I've watched them bounce this 90 off of T55s a bunch. Armor is set up with what I'm hoping are keyhole shots that will still cover what I need to cover, but keep them from being pounded by superior forces that can just shoot from all directions. Uh, so there, actually, that position is, I don't know, kind of questionable. Uh, there, and you can come down here and move these. Uh-oh, uh-oh, uh-oh. I just screwed up. Okay, so here we go again. In fact, let's do it this way. Let's do it this way. It'll just be a lot easier to jump back out here and load this sucker back up. And because I had them selected grouped, if I moved one, I moved them all. Stop it, wrong button. You can select an individual and move them. So that's where I was before. Let's go ahead and do what I have to do, since it's apparent that the things that I thought I had was saved with the scenario were not. Let's set these guys to hold. We don't want them shooting. Let's right click, defend. And the point of this is much more like playing a game of squad leader or something than armor or brigade. You can sit here and work your rear end off, at least in my opinion, taking care of. See, as soon as I operate him, by the way, see the red around him? As soon as I use something individually with him, he's no longer part of this team. You can't select them. So we have to now come through and select them all and do a control R. Okay, now I can do, I believe, an SOP for all of them. And in this case, I want them to hold their fire initially. Now that's going to, and I want them to move the cover. That's going to require that I do some things and keep up with this at very low level. And then I can come in here and I think have him defend. Now, did that change his SOP? No, it looks good. So let's go ahead, get them nicely. Golly. Defending. Zoom in. Uh-huh. So we left click, defend, left click, right click, defend, left click, right click to unselect. All right, now let's find our infantry squad, which has found itself not including him for some reason. All right, we're going to set their standard operating procedure, which in this case is I want them to hold fire and I want them to move undercover if they move. And then I think I can get them all defending. Oh, Lord. And once again, I get blown away. They just, okay. Yeah, this is exciting. 15 minutes in, and I'm still trying to demonstrate. And I guess it's worthwhile from one point of view. It's demonstrating that this game, in my opinion, is not a high level command exercise. It is a micro game, and that's fine, but you got to play it that way. If you, I mean, that's my opinion. You can disagree, but it seems to me that this game is just screaming, play with me at this level. In which case, you ought to play little bitty scenarios like this. Like I said, like a nice little squad leader game. Nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that at all. But it's not unless you're just a nut. And that's, again, my opinion, a game you want to play at some super duper, playing a battalion worth of stuff. Because I've tried, and I'm sitting here talking to you guys rather than I have tried playing this with a battalion of infantry, and the micro required to get them set up made me nuts. Now, if you prefer that, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that at all. It's just not my cup of tea because you see what's happening here, and part of it is because I'm talking about this rather than, and I'm distracted. Um, Part of this is I don't want to spend more time doing this sort of thing than I do playing. I showed up to play. I know that's strange. Yep, they're all. No, they're not all selected. R, SOP, hold, cover. And when I have to do all of this, I don't want to do it for a freaking regiment. I mean, today I'll get the game set up and tomorrow I'll play it. Well, I don't know about you, but I don't have unlimited time to spend at my leisure pursuits. All right, I think everybody's looking pretty good. So you can understand this as bitching and moaning. I don't think it really is. It's more, what does this game do well for me, for my taste? And that is, it plays at this level. I loved Squad Leader back in the day. I know a lot of you guys did. And when I look at this little map and I have a handful of squads and a handful of vehicles, I feel like I'm doing that. Okay, so I think everybody's good. I'm going to find out probably the hard way. But look, we've been going 18 minutes and I haven't even begun to play. And part of this was to demonstrate this, and the other part is to watch it go. So let's go ahead and hope that I've got this right and watch it go. All right, now real quick, we've done this before. I think this means vehicle sounds. We've heard things. This is our initial reconnaissance. And let's go ahead and speed it up. All right, now we see we're starting to spot things. Now that's a self-propelled anti-aircraft reconnaissance PT-76 BRDMs. I don't know what that is, but he's way up there. We're not shooting yet. Hopefully that means that they don't see us. But we're fixing to start cutting some people loose. All right, and I think right now it takes a few minutes or a few seconds, depending on what you're doing, for everybody to kind of get excited about this and to follow their orders. So we can, oh Lord, these guys are all separate again. Let's just do it this way. SOP, I want them firing at effective range. SOP, effective range. And I keep right clicking. It's just habit. Effective range. And effective range. Now you can see 32 seconds, 20 seconds, 21. And I think that may have something to do with how far they are from the commander, since you see a different number. And the command tank doesn't have any delay. That's cool. I got no problem with that. Another thing you can do, you can come here, right click, set range hard, and say don't fire at anything, any hard target outside of whatever, 1,000 meters. I want to cover all this area, but I don't want to be pounding all the way across the world. I think right now we'll leave that alone. We're going to leave the infantry alone. We're going to leave the artillery alone. We're going to get back going and give them. All right, here we go. Fight should be on. Okay, we killed something there. Oh, this guy just went defensive. He didn't like that. He's retreating. Oh, man, we're just having a big old time. Perhaps I should have waited longer to spring that ambush. All right, now, pause. We've got these guys just doing the business on... Gotta get my clicking right. Can't blame the game for my bad fingers. Let's see if we can suppress that open top vehicle down there. And I got to get crazy with the map. Oh, everybody's moving out. Heavy mortars ready to fire. Fire for effect. And it's gone back to a normal time. Speed things up a little bit. Okay, they're moving out of there. So perhaps, as usual, look, I've got these guys screwed up. R and cancel. I need to reserve my HE fire for infantry that will dismount, like that infantry that is dismounted. Okay, now we've got this guy just pounding away with his main gun, and you know what? I really don't want him shooting at soft targets outside of, oh, I don't know. Let's say out to about 650. And we could do the same thing here. Don't shoot at soft targets outside of this. Quit using those main gun rounds. Maybe to here for him. Now, some of this I'm doing just for fun, just so you can see how it works. And we may have to change that. And I'm going nuts trying to get the map where I want it. And we're off and running again. It'll take a little while for that order to get out there, so they'll quit. Now that had to be a T-55 shooting. BTR 50, BTR, BTR, CSU. There he is. That's unfortunate for him, isn't it? Oh, got him. Yeah, that might not have been the best place to keep him. That might not have been his best place to be. All these guys could see him and they got hammered. Okay. Making him unhappy, though. We're sailing those rounds into him over there. This guy might be in trouble, too, with all these guys being able to see him. Wow, look at this. Okay. Got him. Got some air defense. I like that. Those guys were a pain in the butt. It's neat. I mean, you have, he's a track vehicle. You have mixed levels of intelligence. What is that guy? Oh, I hear something. I see something, but I don't know what it is. I think that, oh, look, that's ZSU 57. I don't like those guys. I hope this guy kills them. They're rough on the infantry if they get in there. There we go. Got a T-55. Got a BTR-152. Another BTR killed. 90mm gun's perfectly adequate for that. Ooh, there's a T-55 there. Got him. Those T-55s are a hell of a threat to these M48s. Okay, I think we are just about ready to start. Right now, though, they're taking this hard. Okay, now this guy's getting into the town. I think what we need to do is these guys who have all been very quiet, and once again, it looks like they've gotten separated. There's just interface issues here, in my opinion, and anybody who's followed me, or my posts, I should say, at Computer Wargame Tactical Strategic, the Facebook group, knows that I got a, well, there's no other way to put it. I got a hard on for interfaces. If they irritate me, I'm not happy. All right, I want these guys to fire at effective range, and we'll leave the rate of fire alone. Again, I'll move to cover. Use main armament. Oh, that's interesting. I don't think that matters, but why not? Yes. Really? I can use smoke generator? Well, that's interesting. Not on a vehicle, but on those guys. All right, him. Effective. They need to change. Command team. Effective. We're going to have those guys in town. There's just no point in holding fire. We need to get after it. And once again, I'm fighting the map. The map doesn't zoom smoothly. Okay, it steps in. Troops, yeah, well, we're still holding fire with our mortars. I've wasted so much. Oh, there's some guys there. Where are they going? Let's go ahead and start and find out. Looks like they're heading south. Let's go ahead and use, because just like a lot of games, this is about breaking the enemy's will. Now look at the time it's going to take for some of these guys to come up. Now, I think that has to do with, I think that might have to do with the fact that there's no specific commander. Panzerfaust launch. Uh-oh, we lost M48. That's not good. That's not good. And we got him. All right, the mortars are still adjusting. I've kind of got it going slow right now. Let's speed it up. The mortars are ready to fire. Fire for effect. Come on now, get in there. Well, now you can zoom down and see. We've killed some folks. They're not liking this. And I think I said in one of my posts recently, there was a T-55 moving through here, and I happened to be zoomed down at about this level. And one of these M48s I had stashed near hit him. And I watched the turret fly off, spin around, and land behind the tank itself. Now, that's just awesome. But you know what? In my opinion, that's not stuff you worry about when you're commanding a battalion. So this, so I think this game really is a really cool little skirmish game. And, ooh, we're hammering them now. All right, you guys, cancel. Now let's watch. those guys are heading for the bridge. Fine. HE. Right there. Let them walk into that, I hope. Speed it up. And my MG3 section's going to town, shooting at the dismounts. The mortars are ready to fire. Fire for effect. Yeah, this guy's got he's just had a great time with his keyhole shots. Last time I played this, and again, this is not the first time I've played with this scenario, I didn't lose any M48s. So this has not been... Alright, those guys don't seem to like that. They've decided to leave. We're going to go ahead and cancel that mission. And see if we can work on those guys who are hopefully pinned down by that MG. If this, the other thing, that this is a pretty effective defense, and the principles are, you know, don't defend the edge of the town where you get pounded. For those keyhole shots, it's a T-55. Get him, boys. Get him. Get him before he gets you. They're dangerous. This guy is quick. Let's pause. What's up with him? He's out of ammo already? Well, okay, so much for that. I used more than I thought I did. Nice. Come on now, somebody get these guys. That T-55 is slipping in on us. You need to get him. And the ZSU is, that's awkward. He'll just tear that guy up. Now you see that? That 90mm hit him in the front hull and our front turret, and it just didn't matter. Makes me wish I had some leopards. Got him. Okay. MG3 team just got destroyed by that ZSU. There's another ZSU. Be nice if somebody killed him. Whoa. Alright, what's happening over here? This is kind of fun. Let's zoom in and see some of this. Yeah, hopefully that tank will get him, because he'll stand there and just beat people to death. Yeah, there we go. Not that it matters. There's another one. They've got ZSU 57s everywhere. Closing in on us. There's somebody moving through here. Okay. That guy is a pain. And here they come again. What is that guy? Whatever it is, he's moving fast. Got him. Oh, I wish I hadn't been. Wish I wasn't out of. Wish I wasn't out of mortar ammo. All right, they're just pressing on. They're pressing forward. We're down to 3 M48s. Uh-oh, what does he see? Now he's broken. He's panicked. He's had it. He's moving off. Lost his Jaeger squad. And there you go. Oh, we made it in 35 minutes. So let's take a quick look. We lost 25 out of 63 troops. We lost 2 vehicles out of 5. We killed 73 out of 213 with 9 routed. Vehicles 49, we killed 37. Let's look at the replay. Now, I let that go real fast because again, probably about the 5th time I've played this particular scenario. So there wasn't a lot for me to do but just sit back and watch what I'd already planned. But what did we learn, in my opinion? One, take advantage of the micro. Play yourself, set yourself up some small scenarios, company size, reinforced company size. This wasn't even company size. And embrace the micro. It's good at it. It really is. You can sit around and play with your line of sight and just have a big old time. Um, learn some basic stuff that if you've been gaming for any length of time, defend up here, you're going to get creamed. Hold your fire until the guys are in a kill zone. That helps you with your concealment and cover. Um, the armor, especially when you have inferior armor, and those M48s were inferior to the T55s. Good cover and concealment, keyhole shots. All those things that if you don't know that, then I'm a little surprised you're watching this. Anyway, so that was great fun. And now we can see what's left. Got dismounts everywhere. Basically destroyed this company of infantry, all their vehicles anyway, way out here. And that which broke into the town was destroyed by the defenders in the town or nearby. Now, I've seen them loop around here. That's another thing about this is cool. The AI will do different things. This attack was kind of up the middle. I've seen them loop around here and go in. I've had them wander and manage to get into here, and there'll be big fights in here. The game's challenging, and it's fun. All right, there's no way around it. But for my taste, for whatever that's worth, uh, this is probably maybe a little bit bigger, about as big as I'll ever play, because Lord, the last thing I need to do is do everything you saw me at the beginning of this game for a reinforced battalion. Okay, been talking long enough. Hey, I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you again soon.